out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And let's go to the And let's go to the
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We made it! And let's go to And let's go to
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We made it! And let's go to And let's go to It's a wrap. Game over.
Nope, game not over. Just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday, and I did not want to do a show today. I was like, man, you did a replay last Tuesday. Don't want to get any habits. But I had to get on today, even if it's just for a few minutes, to talk about everything going on from women's college basketball to NFL free agency to I just got so much to talk about, man. I really thought for women's college basketball, it was going to boil down to South Carolina and Tennessee. If y'all didn't see that game, y'all missed it. Like, go back. That's an instant replay. Tennessee had South Carolina down by 2 points with 1.1 second left to go in the game. All they had to do was defend. Notice I didn't say all they had to do was just stand there, because that's what they did. And South Carolina inbounded the ball to, of all people, Camila Cardoso at the top of the key. She steps back behind the arc and banks in a three-pointer for the win. I guess the deal was Tennessee chose not to defend the inbound pass or Cardoso. The big center for Tennessee stayed back in the paint. Her hands were up, and Cardoso did the unthinkable and banged in a three-point shot for the win. My heart goes out to the Tennessee head coach and players, because they should have won that game. They should have won that. They did everything they had to do except for defend on the last play of the game, and it cost them, handing South Carolina their very first loss of the season. So South Carolina goes to 30-0, ends up facing LSU in the SEC Women's Championship game. Great game, very physical. Some people like to call it chippy. I don't know who came up with that term, but okay, we can use it. Very chippy game. There was a lot of physicality going on in the game. Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso were going at it all game long. Angel Reese clearly had gotten the order to body her up. Every time Cardoso came down to post up, Angel Reese bumped her before she even took her position. No problem with that. And the refs let them play. Back and forth game. LSU was not scared of the moment. They closed it to, a close game all throughout. Every time this looked like South Carolina was going to run away with it, LSU found a way back. Both teams played, to a decent high level. And then we came down to the end of the game. Full Wally makes a steal on the LSU end. It's heading back up court. Flau'jae Johnson decides she's going to intentionally foul her from behind, spins her around. Should have been a flagrant foul. I believe it was ruled a flagrant foul. But it went from there. As LSU was walking off the court, Flau'jae was very upset, obviously. And Watkins, young lady, number 2 for South Carolina, yells in Flau'jae's face as she's walking past her. Flau'jae took exception to that, and she throat and chests her. Like, ugh. Obviously, that was a foul. But as she's about to walk off the court, she got blindsided by Kamilla Cardoso and planted on the court. I'm sure y'all have seen this. I got to go through it, though. It's, broadcast journalism 101. All hell broke loose from there. All Hades broke loose. I got some people tell me to stop cussing on the show. All Hades broke loose from there. And so bad that the brother of Flau'jae jumps out of the stands, jumps over the scorer's table and onto the court and actually made contact with Kamilla Cardoso. I give a lot of credit to the security in the arena, because 2 other security people stopped 2 other people who had jumped over out of the stands, had not crossed over the scorer's table, but they got stopped there. There was another gentleman that was coming from, as if you're facing the stands, would have been from our right, their left. They stopped him from coming out. And a police officer followed Johnson's brother. As he went over the scorer's table, the officer went over the scorer's table, and immediately after he made contact with Cardoso, ushered him out of the arena. He was later arrested, posted about $3,000 bond, and was released. But he got some splaining to do in front of a judge at some point. Several players left the bench. Several players came to the aids of their respective players, and the result was all of the LSU bench, except for the starting 5, they only had 7 players. All of the LSU bench were kicked out of the game, and all of the South Carolina bench, except for Pow Pow, was kicked out of the game on the South Carolina. So you had the starting 5 for LSU versus the starting 5. No, bro, we're not doing that today. Whoever you are on Twitch, I gotta remove you. You just cost us our entire Twitch broadcast today. So thank you for being an idiot and jumping on to the broadcast with your nonsense. Yeah. So anyway, I don't even know. I can't delete it. If you guys are on Twitch, you can see Untouchable Damned jumping on, offering some stuff that we don't want or need. So anyway, again, people who don't understand how things work will jump out of their place where they bought a ticket onto the court. I got a lot to say about Brother Johnson before this show is over. But anyway, game was finished with the starting 5 for LSU, starting 5 for South Carolina, +1. South Carolina went on to win their SEC Women's Championship again over LSU. And then after the game, these were the comments that were made by the respective coaches. Here's what Dawn Staley had to say following that melee.
Dawn Staley is with Brooke.
Coach Staley, congratulations, your 8th SEC championship in 10 years. How did you get it done today?
I mean, the players. It's all about the players being able to make plays on both sides of the basketball. You know, I just want to apologize to the basketball community You know, when you're playing in championship games like this, in our league, things get heated. No bad intentions. They just try, their emotions got so far ahead of them that sometimes these things happen. So I want to apologize for us playing a part in that, because that's not who we are and that's not what we're about. But I'm happy for the players that were able to finish the game and get us another championship.
Coach, how will you address this with your team?
I mean, we're going to talk about it. We've always talked about it. Never leave the bench. You know, never get too high with the highs or low with the lows. It's hard when you're playing. I played this game a long time, and I can't tell you I was a saint at all times, okay? Your emotions get the best of you. It's unfortunate that the players that got ejected can't be a part of the celebration.
I mean, just very tempered, very mature, very adultish. Didn't throw anybody under the bus, didn't try to make herself seem tougher than she needed to be or anything like that. Again, Dawn Staley being Dawn Staley, rising to the moment and giving a very measured response that you want a coach that's leading your child or your organization, your institution, the kind of response that you wanted. That's what you want out of a coach, out of a leader, out of a mentor to these amazing young ladies. Let me let you play the post-game response from the other head coach, Kim Mulkey from LSU.
It's ugly. It's not good. No one wants to be a part of that. No one wants to see that ugliness. But I can tell you this. I wish she would have pushed Angel Reese. Don't push a kid. You 6'8", don't push somebody that little. That was uncalled for, in my opinion. Let those two girls that were jawing, let them go at it.
Everything I said about Coach Staley, I choose not to say about Coach Mulkey. I will say this. I understand what she was trying to say. She was trying to talk about the difference between the size of the two players. Flage goes about, 6 feet? So Cardoso's 7 inches taller than her. She said 6'8". Of course, she was embellishing to make her point extreme. But yeah, 7 inches, 8 inches, give or take. I get what she was trying to say. And I get that she's trying to defend her player. But it wasn't, it's not the moment for that. It's not the moment for that. The moment called for a lowering of temperature, not I've got a point that I'm going to make and prove so that I can look like I'm leading my team. It pales in comparison to a Dawn Staley who was not even asked about the moment. Let me play for you again. Dawn Staley was asked about winning her 8th out of the last 10 conference championships, but look how Dawn chose to handle it.
Dawn Staley is with Brooke.
Coach Staley, congratulations, your 8th SEC championship in 10 years. How did you get it done today?
I mean, the players. It's all about the players being able to make plays on both sides of the basketball. You know, I just want to apologize to the basketball community.
I stopped it right there for a reason. Dawn answered the question, but took care of the moment at hand. Let me address this because this is what's most important right now. And she apologized to the basketball community for the actions of her players and to the institution that she leads. Again, you've got mature, measured, well thought versus, I'm just going to say it. Y'all can be mad at me. I'm not making it a black and white issue. I'm not. I don't think that's what it is. I think it is a maturity issue. I think it's a what's in you comes out of you issue. You had class versus trash. You had class versus trash. You had class versus trash. And I know the class versus the trash because this is what This is what Camila Cardoso had to say in her statement, and I'll address it after I read the statement. On X, better known as Twitter, previously known as Twitter, Camila Cardoso on her page said, "I would like to extend my sincerest apologies for my actions during today's game. My behavior was not representative of who I am as a person or the South Carolina program. And I deeply regret any discomfort or inconvenience it may have caused. I take full responsibility for my actions and assure you that I am committed to conducting myself with the utmost respect and sportsmanship in the future." Cardoso, many people said, "Oh, she didn't write that. Of all the things that never happened, she wrote that." It's not a matter of whether she wordsmithed it or not. She allowed it to represent her true feelings. She didn't say, "No, I ain't saying that. Don't post that on my personal page." She let that represent who she was and how she felt. Kim Mulkey, on the other hand, allowed her vibrato to represent her and her institution by saying, "I wish she would have pushed Angel Reese." Angel Reese, by the way, right, wrong, or indifferent, I think it was right, went and sat down on the bench when all of it got started. And a lot of folks took issue with that. And I have no problem with it, because if she had gotten involved in the melee, not all of y'all, but many would have called her a thug, would have called her ghetto trash, would have called her all kinds of names that were inappropriate. But when she went and sat down, all of a sudden she's not a leader. She doesn't stand up for her players. Haley Van Lith at least got up and tried to defend what she can. Haley was already on the court. The young lady was in a no-win situation, but for her coach to throw it out there that it would have been more appropriate for Camila Cardoso to pick on someone like Angel Reese, it would have made little sense, even though it made no sense for her to do what she did. We understand it. Those of us who played on any level understand it. But it would have made no sense for her to watch Flau'jae push Watkins and then she run up and go push Angel Reese. It's illogical. It makes no sense. So Kim Mulkey is not even logical. She's not mature. And again, it was class versus trash. So I leave it there. Ugly ending to a great game. Ugly ending to a great championship. 8 out of 10 for South Carolina. South Carolina will, without question, be the number one seed for the women's tournament. Maybe LSU and South Carolina will see each other again. LSU is the defending national championship, but I will say South Carolina has definitely addressed what cost them the championship last year. They had no outside shooting, and they've got plenty of outside shooting now with this team as constructed. A brand new starting five. They lost all starters from last year's team. LSU, we'll see. They're not a bad team. They won't be a number one seed, but they will definitely be a number two, and they will be a team that nobody is going to want to play. All right, so that's it on the women's game. Let me take a break. When I come back, I got to get into the NBA free agency. We'll do all that next right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Talk Monday.
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. All right, Talk Your Team Tuesday. Keith Hennick, you got your quarterback. Baker Mayfield staying with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 3-year, $115 million deal. And a lot of that is fully guaranteed. So congratulations to Baker Mayfield. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got their man. And I know everybody is excited about that down there in Tampa. Let's see, $50 million of that guaranteed, $30 million guaranteed in 2024, $20 million guaranteed in 2025. So again, congratulations to Baker Mayfield, better known as BM. Got him a 3-year, $115 million deal. I still stand by what I said last year. Hang on, it's going to go bad, and it's going to be everybody's fault but his. I'm going to stick to that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But until I'm wrong, I'm right. So there we go. The other quarterback that made out like a fat cat is a dude that, man, I don't know who his agent is, but he needs to give that dude a bonus on top of a bonus. I mean, I'm talking about Kirk Cousins. Got him another big deal. 4 years, $180 million to leave the Minnesota Vikings and go and play for the Atlanta Falcons, which I think is a good fit. Arthur Blank loves the those type of players. He's the Matt Ryan. He's the Kirk Cousins. He's the Taylor Heineke kind of coach. I mean, kind of owner. He likes those kind of players, so he got him one. And Kirk Cousins, you like that? So good for Kirk. He's in a place where he can be himself, and he can do what he's trying to do. Let me look at these deals. So again, it's $180 million. I forget how much of that is fully guaranteed. Let me see if I can see. I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me. I thought I did, but anyway, a lot of it is guaranteed. So congratulations, Kirk Cousins. Russ Wilson is going to be cooking Pittsburgh style. He agreed to a 1-year league minimum deal in Pittsburgh to compete for the starting job with Kenny Pickett. I think it's a great fit there. Kellen Moore, I believe, Has Kellen Moore moved up? No. That's not where Kellen Moore is the offense coordinator. I digress. But again, he's going to be there, and he is going to be in a system that caters more to what he does, and that's play action. He has a better quarterback rating in play action than he did without it, and they run a lot of play action. I think Smith is the offensive coordinator there, and that's where he will be in a more conducive situation. And oh yeah, by the way, a little plug to the Denver Broncos. They still got to pay him over $30 million for letting him go. And they got about $85 million in dead money that they got to carry on their books. I'm going to just say this one more time. Sean Payton is trash. Sean Payton is absolute trash. We have now found out that Sean Payton is exposed. He can't win a god doggone thing without a quarterback by the name of Drew Brees. So there you go. Denver got who they wanted in Sean Payton. Sean Payton got rid of who he wanted to get rid of in Russ Wilson. Russ Wilson is now doing his thing, going to be doing his thing in Pittsburgh, and I hope he balls out. Denver Bronco fans, I'm sorry to tell you, you're getting what you deserve. You really are. For those who wanted to blame Russell Wilson for everything that went wrong, let me just put it to you this way. Russell Wilson had one bad year, one bad year, and he was crucified, vilified. They talked about that man's family. They talked about that man's behavior. They talked about that man like he was a thief, and he was not. He didn't give himself that contract. Denver did. But y'all want to blame Russell Wilson. So, hey, live with it. For the other fans that were mature and understood what was really going on and that the problem was not Russell Wilson, but the organization and Sean Payton, I'm sorry for y'all. But everybody else, live with it, baby. Eat that. Shannon Sharp seems to think that there is something wrong with Russell Wilson because Seattle walked away from him for Geno Smith and Denver walked away from him in spite of the money. Hey, listen, sometimes you're just not in the right place. It ain't you. You're just not in the right place. So, Shannon, I don't agree with you. All right. So anyway, Gardner Minshew also going to be leaving the Colts and signed a deal to be in quarterback competition in Las Vegas with the Raiders. So good for him. Also, Jacoby Brissett heading back to New England. And Tyrod Taylor is going to back up one Aaron Aloysius Drama King Rodgers in New Jersey with the Jets. Not New York. They're in New Jersey. All right, so there we go. Those are your quarterbacks. Congratulations to the running backs that got new jobs. Man, I'm pretty surprised about the running backs getting the jobs that they got because, everybody thought that was going to be a problem. So Quan Barkley heading over to San Francisco to run with none other than Jalen Hurts and the squad on a 3-year, $37.75 million deal. Real happy for him. Tony Pollard leaving the Dallas Cowboys. He is going to be running with the Tennessee Titans. Congratulations to him. Also, let's see, somebody else. Yeah, Tony Pollard, 3-year, $24 million deal. DeAndre Swift leaving Philadelphia, going to run with the Chicago Bears, 3-year, $24 million deal. Austin Eckler leaving the Chargers, heading out to Washington to run with the Commanders on a 2-year, $11.4 million deal. A.J. Dillon out of a job in Green Bay. They decided that they were going to run with the former running back from the Raiders. So, again, a lot of movement. Josh Jacobs leaving the Raiders, going to Green Bay on a 4-year, $48 million deal. So he definitely got paid. I'm wondering if Dillon is going to end up in Dallas. Wondering if Dillon is going to end up in Dallas because Dallas needs a running back. I thought that they were going to look at Derrick Henry, but the Baltimore Ravens agreed to a deal with Derrick Henry today, and that takes him off the board. So what is Dallas going to do at the running back position? Cowboy fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think is going to happen there with your beloved Dallas Cowboys now that Tony Pollard is gone and Derrick Henry is off of the board for the possibility of them getting a running back? So again, trying to see what's going to happen there. A lot of movement. Joe Mixon is out there. I believe that the Houston Texans are looking for Joe Mixon because Singletary got picked up as well. So again, it's going to be very interesting what happens from here. But again, quarterbacks are finding jobs. Running backs are finding jobs. Obviously, edge rushers, offensive linemen are finding jobs. But the two surprises for me have been the quarterbacks and been the running backs. So we'll see where they go. Ryan Tannehill is still out there at quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is still out there at quarterback. Who else is still out there quarterback-wise? I'm looking. A.J. Dillon, I already said. Yeah, Tannehill. Yeah, I think he is the biggest name still out there at QB, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, I'm not going to say that. I'm like somebody else. Mike Evans, I'm happy for him too, staying in Tampa on a 2-year, $52 million deal. He got paid there. T. Higgins wants to be traded from the Cincinnati Bengals. They signed him to the franchise tag, 1 year, $21.8 million. Cincinnati is historic for not paying their top players. So we'll see what he's able to work out there. But anyway, that's what's going on in free agency. I got to get ready to roll. As always, I'll be back tomorrow for Winning Wednesday. I'll let you know how you can win $500 cash on the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge. That's going to be coming up. March Madness is almost upon us. If you have not yet gotten your free account with CBSSports.com, log in, get a free account with CBSSports.com. You don't have to pay for a thing. And then I'll be letting you know how you can win $500 cash. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There's nothing you can do about it except tune in tomorrow for, that show. Winning Wednesday on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams, coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Number 1. Conditions in Haiti have come to a boiling point as gangs have attacked the capital of Port-au-Prince and set free thousands of violent criminals from the prisons. Almost half of the country's population are in need of humanitarian aid, and the main airport is shuttered and ports are closed, leaving many stranded. President Biden approved the removal of non-essential U.S. embassy employees out of the country, while African and Caribbean nations are meeting in Jamaica to discuss a political transition. Number 2, Naomi Barber King, a civil rights activist and prominent figure in the movement, was married to A.D. King, the younger brother of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., has passed away at the age of 92. Mrs. King, known as the Butterfly Queen, was a beacon of hope in the civil rights community. She championed causes aimed at empowering youth and women and advancing nonviolent social change. Number 3, when adopting a healthier lifestyle, it's important to learn how to eat better, enjoying more vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, and lean animal proteins. Other tips for success include reading nutrition labels, watching calorie intake, and cooking at home. Read more about Life's Essential 8, provided by the American Heart Association in today's newsletter. Number 4, Black boys are less likely to be identified with special needs if they have black teachers, that according to a new study. Researchers found the connection was particularly strong among poorer students and in categories where there was more teacher discretion, such as ADHD. One professor said the findings add to the growing body of evidence that having access to black teachers matters to black children's educational journeys. Number 5, the IRS is rolling out its Direct File program, a free tax filing service designed to make tax season a breeze. To qualify for Direct File, you need to have a simple tax situation with limited types of income, credits, and deductions. Starting today, March 12th, Direct File will be fully open to all eligible users in 12 pilot states. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. A gentle approach can be surprisingly effective in a world of judgment, competition, and complaining. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams, political contributor Cameron Riley, and producer Ahmed Gordon as we discuss today's top headlines and more. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.